Okay, in this video, I want to demonstrating how can we calculate mean, median, mode, sample variance, sample standard deviation, mean, max, range, skewness, first quantile, second quantile, third quantile, and interquantile range, one by one. Versus before we learn how to use the statistical to get everything by one time. The reason that sometimes you may just looking for a mean, or sometimes you might looking for standard deviation, so you don't really have to get in all your statistics. So this, what I'm gonna show you here will be more handy than the other approach. Okay, so to calculate mean, to calculate each one of statistics, you just make sure you remember the formula. Okay, to calculate mean, the formula we are using is called the equal average. Okay, and then we will select from A2 to A26. And then close the parentheses, so that will give you the value for average or the mean. And then for the median, the formula we will use is spelled as median, and the parentheses from A2 to A26. Close the parentheses and push enter. Okay, mean, median, how about mode? So for mode, we have one mode, so that's when we feel it's more valuable versus multi-mode. So we're only looking for one mode. We will type M-O-D-E-L. Oh, sorry, M-O-D-E. As you notice that we have two options. M-U-L-T means you're looking for multimodal, but here we only use the single, looking for one mode. So we will type .SNGL, parentheses, and I will select my data set. And the close parentheses, push enter. So basically, 7,500, this starting salary show up the most. One thing I want to call out, all the formula we're learning here only can select one column. If you select more than one column, it will not calculate. Okay, so you only can select one column, all those formulas. So now we look at the sample variance. So we will type VER dot S. We mentioned in the previous video, .S stands for sample, .P stands for population. VER.S will give us the sample variance, and the parentheses select A2 to A26. Push enter. So now we get a sample variance. Now for sample standard deviation, we are using the formula called STDEV.S. So that's give us the sample standard deviation, and the parentheses, and the select all. Close the parentheses, and then push enter. Okay, that gives me the standard deviation. So for what is the minimum value in your data set, what is the maximum value in your data set? For minimum is equal to MIN, minimum, parentheses, and then select all your data, and then close the parentheses, and then push enter. So you got minimum. For the maximum, so what is the largest value in your data set? You just type max, parentheses, select A2 to A26. Okay, another thing, when you use Excel formula, it does not matter it's a capitalized or non-capitalized, you all get the same formula. So that's one good thing for Excel formula. It doesn't matter it's a capitalized or non-capitalized, you will enter the same formula. Okay, so for the range, we don't have a direct formula called the range in Excel. However, as we know, the range is using your maximum value minus minimum value. So what you need to do is, first of all, calculate your max value as what we just did, and then you will minus the minimum value. That gives you the range. Okay, how about the skewness? The skewness is spelled as SKEW, and then by default, it is simple. If you know your data set is population, you just need to put a .P. So there are no different, it does not like variance or standard deviation, you have .S option. For the skewness, you only have, for the sample, you don't need to put anything after skew. If it's a population, you need to put .P. Okay, so after you do that, skew and then select. Close the parentheses, push enter. Okay, so that's a skewness. So for our salary, it's moderately skewed to the right. So how about the quantile? So for the first quantile, you just need to type okay, so the formula we're using a quantile, as you type in the quantile, and then so there's an old formula called quantile. In the new version of Excel, they have two options, quantile exclude and quantile include. So for our class, we are using quantile include. So the quantile include is equivalent to the old quantile formula. So basically, when we're looking at the quantile, we are not excluding my median when we are trying to find the first and the third quantile. So it's very important. So we are using our interquartile include. And then for the array is the data set we have. And then here you're going to tell the computer which quantile you're looking for. So you're looking for, of course, the first quantile, right? So we type 1, close the parentheses, and we got $16,000. And we use the same formula. It allows us getting second quantile. And then we are using quantile included. And then we are selecting my data set. And then after that, and then we click number 2. So that's supposed to give us the median. So look, the median are exactly the same as our median here. And for a third quantile, quantile included, select my data array, and then put 3. Okay, so now you see it's very easy to calculate first, second, third quantile. In the classroom, in the lecture, I show you how to manually finding that, but with Excel, it's much easier. So for the interquantile change, we talked about it is the difference between the third quantile and the first quantile. So therefore, we just need to find equal to third quantile minus the first quantile. Now we are able to get interquantile change equal to 36,500.